everyone. Today we will be having a class debate about the use of technology in the teaching and learning process, such as the integration of ICT in the subject matter, utilization of social media, and internet surfing for research purposes. Our debate will evolve in the issue about technology, a boon or bane, an aid or distraction. To facilitate our debate this afternoon, I would like to introduce to you our moderator, none other than Jinime Kabanayan.
A pleasant afternoon to each and everyone. Let me introduce to you the speakers of both sides, the affirmative side and the negative side. For the affirmative side, the speakers are the following. We have Junalyn Dizon, Trina Shebamay Butlig, and Junella Kin Micabalo. While on the negative side, we have John Lia Benoha, Angel May Solon, and Kathleen Shane Krausus. Well, the mechanics for this debate. First, the affirmative side will be the first one who will present their ideas and opinions about technology. Then after that, the next one who will present their ideas and opinions will be the negative side. Then after that one, we will proceed to the questions, in which the negative side will be the first one who will give two questions, which will be answered by the affirmative side. And then, the affirmative side will give their two questions to the negative side. And then we will give chance to the audience to give them questions for both the affirmative and negative side. Each speaker will be giving 1 to 2 minutes to present, and our timekeeper will be Mayflower Kimberly Sithar. Remember, speakers, that if it is already time, the speaker will stop speaking. And then after that one, the judge will be the one who will declare the winner. And this is the criteria for judging. The evidence, 30%, delivery, 30%, interpolation, 20%, and the rebuttal, 20%. A total of 100%. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you our judge for this afternoon. He is the science teacher of grade 7 and grade 9. He is Sir Fermin Celada. Now, let's proceed to the debate proper. I will give now the microphone to the affirmative side.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Junalyn Pidizon from the affirmative side, and these are my co-partners, Trina Shebamay Butlig and Janella Kin Timicabalo. We are here to defend our opinions about the theme, which is technology, a boon or bane, an aid or distraction. Well, as for me, as brother, technology is more of a boon than a bane to society. Technology has evolved over the years and revolutionized our lives. There are many types of technology, like information technology, biotechnology, and medical technology. Medical technology is the application of science and technology to improve the management of health conditions. It has contributed greatly to the society as it can save lives and increase chances for patients to survive their ordeal. Technology in the medical field has allowed individuals with chronic illness to have productive and healthier lives. These individuals can now lead independent lives without any need for physical, emotional, and financial support. Advanced medical aids also enables patients to continue recovery at home, reducing their hospital stay and at the same time saving money on hospital bills. An example of this that I've researched is the medical technology that has benefited lives. It's the treatment for cardiovascular disease, the use of coronary stents, artificial open, half of the number of those dying from heart attacks or suffering from heart failure. Patients with an ICD or implantable cardioverter defibrillator, which is a small device implanted for those at risk of sudden cardiac death, now have. Good afternoon once again. In today's society, there is no question that technology has become a part of our everyday life. Well, I agree that technology is more of a boon than a bane, because based on the www.createdDebate.com, technology refers to the study, development, and application of devices, machines, and techniques for manufacturing and productive processes. Therefore, there are many divisions which fall into the category of technology. Medical technology, biotechnology are some examples, but this is merely scratching the surface. I have chosen to use the educational sector as proof that technology is indeed a blessing to society. Educational technology applies to the development, application, and evaluation of systems and techniques for improving the process of human learning. Educational technology includes but is not limited to software, hardware, and internet applications and activities. Such technology allows teachers and students to access and to be able to work with a range of authentic materials and updated information regardless of their circumstances, financial or geographical, data collections, and even connections to the world's best schools and universities are just a click away. Students are then equipped with more resources and are therefore able to have a better understanding.
Humans are the most advanced and the most intelligent species in the universe, and their greatest work is science and technology. Although technology gets a lot of flack amongst older generation for corrupting our youth, there was a reason why technology was made. It was made to make our life easier and more efficient. Technology runs in the veins of society. It is the fuel that drives our lives, and it is an integral part of daily life. It has definitely benefited society. It has brought luxury in the life of common man, and automation brought about by technology has saved human effort and time to a large extent. It has brought distant places closer and simplified information access. Technology has automated many of the critical processes in the industry as well as the household. Imagine the amount of labor that must have been involved in industrial processes when the concept of automation did not exist. Electronic gadgets have entered homes of the common man to rescue him from the boredom of daily chores. Let's use our imagination a bit. If the internet, mobile devices, and games were taken away from us, how would we feel? I know many of us would feel like a part of our life is missing due to technology now being a necessity in our everyday life. How many of you have rather talked to someone through text messaging, email, or social media to avoid a face-to-face communication? Due to this kind of communication, without having a face-to-face interaction, sometimes love builds. Because you won't be able to see the face of your chatmate, that's why sometimes the true love breaks. Take a minute to ask yourselves, when you go out with a group of friends or even on a date, do you find your... And now, let's proceed to the presentation of ideas and opinions of the negative side. A pleasant afternoon to everyone. I am Callan Shane Krauses from the negative side, together with my companions, Angel Misuan and John Lee Abinuha. I am confident
be standing here in front of you saying that technology is a distraction. Technology has revolutionized our world in the past 20 years with the rise of cellular phones, the internet, and later social media. While the leaps and bounds have led to amazing advances that have improved the quality of life for millions or even billions of people, there are significant drawbacks to adopting new technology to an extreme degree. The stereotypes of teenagers constantly texting their friends and overworked men and women who can escape their emails are stereotypes for a reason. Huge numbers of us are constantly glued to our technology devices. However, technology is a distraction because according to www.google.com, these are the negative effects of technology. Number one is isolation. Social isolation is characterized by a lack of contact with other people in normal daily living. Two, lack of social skills. The use of online social media outlets causes us to meet face-to-face with much lesser frequency, resulting in lack of much needed social needs. Obesity. The more time people are spending engrossed in video games, talking to friends online, and watching funny cat videos on YouTube, they are spending less time being active or exercising. Number four, depression. Technology creates the perfect recipe for depression with a lack of human contact.
Good afternoon once again. As we can see nowadays, technology seems to be a part of this generation's life. Many of us are already depending on it. Besides, others say, I can live without it. As a matter of fact, we almost all inside this room are one of those. In almost all situations, we think that we can do nothing without it. Example of this is whenever we're given an assignment and that needed some research. The next day, whenever the teacher asks for the assignment, we say in chorus, sorry mom, but we didn't have any. It's brought out last night, you know. That is what I am saying. People, especially students, depend their assignments and almost everything in technology. Due to technology, we're now dependent. Dependent on the things that we think we can, but the truth is, we really can. In the situation that I've mentioned earlier, why not try to scan some dictionaries, books, and any other references, except for depending on technology that truly uses electricity. If the light is the problem, then why not try to use lamps? Anyways, elders used to use that one in their times. In their times that we can surely apply in our times either. Because of technology also, students are now lazy. Not just lazy but also crazy. Crazy about those games. They can even curse whenever they lose. Many also use technology's advantages in bad deeds. Like some students that used to view porn. In other words, the students or the youth rather are now irresponsible. Aside from them not helping with the household chores, they also neglect about their studies. So technology is really a bane.
Technology disadvantages. Dependency. The more advanced society becomes technologically, the more people begin to depend on computers and other forms of technology for everyday existence. This means that when a machine breaks or a computer crashes, humans become almost disabled until the problem is resolved. The kind of dependency on technology puts people to a distinct disadvantage because they become less self-reliant. Disadvantages of technology in education. Laziness in studying. Computers makes it so easy to find answers that students barely have to look for them. This may result in them having poor study habits and developing a lazy attitude toward their education. forgetting the basic way of studying. They would no longer rely on the books that are lent by their teachers for them to study since they are already interested in to study using the computer. Even simple problems and homework that they need to answer, they are more of seeking the assistance of computers already. Technology in education plays an important role in the study habits and skills of your child. But you need to make sure that you are going to be very careful in allowing them to use their computer and surf the internet for them to avoid discovering things that are not part of their studies. It is always important to let them use some of this technology in education as often as it is in order to prevent forgetting the basic way of studying. Lost art of conversation. Technology such as text messages and email allows us to communicate in short, carefully edited sentences that lack immediately and completely remove the contextual information provided by tone of voice and body language. As a result, people who connect with
This time, let's proceed to the rebuttal. The first one who will give questions to the affirmative side will be the negative side.
You mentioned earlier about medical advantages. Are we rest assured that if we will use that so-called machines, that if we will use that, our disease will be cured? And what are those diseases? And another one is, how can these machines inhibit or cure that so-called disease?
I can say that these machines can help lives prevent more death because as you can see right now, the technology is more advanced. So many scientists or doctors are inventing more machines that can save lives. So as I can say that I don't know that many diseases are cured by these machines, but as I've seen in the internet that the doctors are planning to make more machines to help more people's life. That's all. Thank you. Okay. Do you think that these things or the so-called technology can mold someone into something good? Do you think? Do you think? Yes, you think. Because for example, playing Clash of Clans or Dota, because as what I have observed in the classroom, like our classmates are playing COC. When they play games, they curse. Right? And so how can you explain or stand that technology is a boon or an aid and not a distraction? Well, you have a point, but COC, Dota, Minecraft, Heyday, and Boom Beach, or etc. are made for entertainment. It is not the game or the technology's fault why the people are so addicted in these games. But it is because of the responsibility of the people who play these games. And the students are being dependent on the internet. And as a follow-up answer, that's why most of the boys or the girls or each one of us plays or curse as we lose the game is because of the excitement or the happiness that the games had brought to us or had given to us. Okay, let's proceed to the affirmative side, who will give 2 questions to the negative side. You said that technology would affect our studies, but I have a the question, do you use technology in your class? Or should I say that, do you use internet to research the facts that you are holding right now?
Yes, we use technology in our class, like in our science and in our RL subject. And as what we have observed, there is also a negative side during that time, right? Remember that day when we used the Scilab, then we used PowerPoint, and then the PowerPoint was the projector has what we call that, hindi siya gumana. Yes, and then that's what we have observed, that we are the teachers are also dependent as what we have observed, and because of that dependency, sometimes our lessons are, sometimes our lessons are delayed, and that time, imbis na mag-discuss si ma'am, imbis na i-discuss yun ni ma'am yung lesson natin, what we call, it was delayed. How can you able to take notes during in your class? You use ballpens, pencil, right? And don't you know that pens are part of technology? And take note, it is the machine which is the technology who made the papers, pens, erasers, and etc. Yes, that's a part of the technology. That was my point there. You remember my point earlier? That's the what we call that? The point there that we are dependent on technology. Huh? We are dependent on technology. Excuse me, Miss Kathleen Shane Carlsus, we use the product. We are not dependent on it.
I mean, we really need to use pencils in order for us to learn, right? We need to use the books in order for our references. And we can't blame the technology because it helps us in order for us to learn new things.
I think that, so you said earlier that pens and pencils are part of the technologies. It's a product of technology. So I think it's a product of technology. So the product of technology, we use it in a great way, in a good way, not in a bad way, such as the online games, and we are not addicted on the pens, on the pencils, because okay, the pens are the products of technology. So
Yes, you have a point that it is a product of the technology, but we are not focusing on the pencils, the pencils, the papers. Yes, it is a product of the technology, but we are focusing on the internet. The internet, which is very it's a distraction.
Now, let's proceed to the questions from the audience. First, we have on the negative side.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to ask questions. Affirmative side. Yes, technology has a great advantage, especially especially to our daily life. But for you, if technology can harm our environment, why or why not? If yes, how? Explain. Yes, we can say that the technology can harm the environment, but you said that the technology is the reason or the cause that the problems on the environment right now. Well, I can say that the technology will be the one who will solve these problems because we can invent more machines to prevent this global warming and such climate change. And the only one who can solve this is the technology that we people made. Next question from affirmative side. Yes, sometimes technology is a bane. But how can you say that the technology is a bane if even our hospital using it? And also we use technology every day. We use your gadgets. So how can you say that the technology is a bane? Technology is a bane in the way that it distracts the students in their studies. Yes, it distracts students because even sit down. When the teacher is discussing, for example, in the classroom, when the teacher is discussing in front, instead of listening to the teacher, some students are texting, playing COC, and what are those online games? So that's the way that the technology is a distraction or a bane, and it is also a bane in the fact that it harms the environment. Now, let's proceed to the final decision of our judge. Let me call on Sir Fermin Silada for declaring who will be the winner for this debate.
Based on the things you presented, in the light of the different evidences you've shown, the negative side and then the affirmative side, there's nothing to reconcile about the technology nowadays. In my part, I've observed that we cannot do our things without the technology, especially nowadays that in the 21st century, technology is already existing. Take note that if we will not be riding in the wave of change, say for example, technology, if we will not technology nowadays, we will be lagged behind from the other countries in the world. So the way things, I may go to the affirmative side. So, on this point, the affirmative side presented evidences and they were able to answer the questions raised. And then, for the negative side, they failed to mention about the negatives, especially the impact on human. Okay? They're supposed to give the enormous point wherein we will use the technology, but be sure that the learners or the users are also having its limitation. So it has its limitation, it has its advantages. The only thing that we have to see things and to weigh things is that the positive impact of the technology outweighs the negative one. Meaning to say, the usefulness of the technology weighs farther, or it has a greater or denser, if we were going to weigh, it has a denser value compared to the negative side. So, as a final decision, the affirmative side wins the battle. That's all.
round 1.
Very well said, Sir Silada. As an advisor of this section, I would like to congratulate everyone for the job well done. Both the affirmative and the negative side presented well their ideas and opinions. I would like to thank also our very competent judge once again, Sir Permit Silada Jr. And that's all for this afternoon. Good afternoon and God bless us all.